Welcome back. We're at the final 9 of the 35th annual Halloween Howler. This is a modified layout of one of the temporary courses on the property. You'll be seeing some crazy long shots from MattyO, Cameron Colglazier, Matt Givens, and Colin Forehand making it back.
Coverage.
So we look forward to that. We got hole 1 here, about 380 feet. Just a big hyzer. You really want to get around this last tree on the left and have a skip towards the basket, most likely.
Yeah, and every hole out here is a par 3. Play this Iron Man, though they're not par 3s.
Right.
Not all of them. So, the actual score itself would not be indicative of how well you played on this final 9.
Right, but Matt's looking to get a 2 on this one. And as he does, put it by the basket. Cameron looking to make up the last 4 strokes.
Yeah, and definitely some tough lines to hit out here. You're coming to the end of the tournament, your last 9 holes. Have some spectators walking around with you. Nerves are running, and anything can happen out here.
Yeah, we got Colin lining up here. Throwing it out a little wider than the first 2 shots.
Yeah.
Really trying to play the skip, but doesn't get it. It checks up. He'll probably have a 30, 35 foot look. And then we got my co-commentator here, Matt Givens.
Yep, ripping on an Ezra nuke. Just trying to put it close. Maybe a slight bit of flip up here is what I'm looking for. Feels good to actually kind of unleash on one.
Yeah, if you've watched the first 3 rounds, we played in the woods, and now we get out to the open.
Yeah, that one pushed a little longer than I thought.
Calling a little longer than I anticipated. It's probably more of a 40-foot look. Misses left. You have about a 35, maybe?
Yeah, about 35 feet, just off left.
Cameron here, pushing a little deep on the basket, but cashing in the birdie, no problem.
Yep, feels good for him. Grab that knowing that Matt's got the CTP on the hole.
And cashes in his birdie as well.
Goes for the mini pickup, misses it, plays it off like a pro.
It was a pump fake.
Yeah.
That's another first down for Matt. Colin looking to clean up his par. No problem.
Solid putt. One of the few holes that is actually in the temporary layout. We are playing a safari layout, as we mentioned, so some of the holes might look a little different than you played if you played this tournament. Probably got 18, 20 feet way back, no problem.
Yeah. And that'll move us on to hole 2, which is combine of the 2 and 3 on the Temp A course. It plays along the road.
Yeah, you see it snakes to where those players are down there. Probably straight distance around 550, plays closer to about 650. So definitely not a par 3, but
that's how we're scoring it today.
Yeah, the aggressive line is big flex over the road, though you can play to the left gap that you can kind of see there in frame, and that's kind of a layup play if the road scares you.
Yeah, so you'll find that when you throw this shot that you end up in this ditch over here. Cameron really flirting with that out of bounds. Ooh, and sneaks in. That's pretty ideal in this hole. Most of the time you'll see players end up in that ditch and having to throw an awkward hyzer standstill shot.
Yeah, and the way you have to turn over the disc, a lot of times you'll land on that asphalt and it'll just keep sliding straight down the road instead of getting the flare skip that you intend to get.
Colin throwing into the woods on the left side, and there is a gap through there. Maybe he fought through.
Yeah, he actually did fight through to the layup zone. I'm throwing a flippy nuke here. I'm going to try and get it down the road.
Playing a good hyzer flip. having it turn over, shaping the road perfectly.
Yeah, goes into the woods, actually fights through to the other side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty fortunate there. But I was happy with the pool either way.
And you can see the couple of the caddies and everything coming to support the players on the final 9.
Yeah, a couple spectators offering to caddy for us.
Colin getting the close to the hole 3, the regular hole 3 on the temp. Doesn't really get it all the way down there. Matt throwing that awkward standstill hyzer that I was talking about.
Yeah, gets an unfortunate little kiss on the pole, the telephone pole there, but he'll be probably just at circle's edge, maybe just outside.
You have a nice standstill shot with the ringer, putting it perfectly under the basket.
Yeah, I was really happy with how I played this hole.
Yeah, taking advantage of a situation that you probably didn't expect to have.
Yeah, spoiler alert, that was the that was the best drive I had on that hole in all of my practicing. So I was definitely happy to come out with a 3.
Colin looking to try to fight through. Gets up and down. He'll tap in for the 4. Matt with a putt from the ditch. A little off, so Cameron's going to gain a stroke on the second hole of the final 9. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I thought he was under the basket.
Yeah, still got some work to do, but definitely an opportunity here for him. Actually, just outright. He
wanted that for sure. He knows he's got to make up 4 strokes in 9 holes.
Yeah, he knows every
3
opportunity
strokes.
he needs to take advantage of.
Oh. 4 strokes.
Math's hard sometimes. Here we are, hole 3. This is actually a normal hole in the course as well, about 300 feet. Got a really tight gap to hit here. Really, you just want to make it through the gap with whatever you're comfortable with, and play it from there. I threw something flippy just to make sure I got through that initial tree line, and I'm completely okay with being there.
Yeah, a lot of players will probably try to force something slightly overstable on an ante through the gap to make it as wide as possible and then have it track back to the left.
And so that's actually the danger that comes into play when you try and do that, is going early left, and you're really in jail over there if that happens to you. So Cam with another opportunity here to get a stroke back, maybe even 2 if things go the wrong way for Matt. So you can see he's taking his time on this one. He knows how important it is.
Hits the gap perfectly.
Yeah, laces it. That's a good way to come back. Miss your opportunity, but capitalize on another one.
Colin probably trying to figure out how the tee is supposed to set up. We haven't played this tee box in this tournament as of yet. So he just wants to make sure that he gets his footing correct. Doesn't quite get it turned over.
Yeah. Kicks off pretty far to the left there. Maybe far enough left that it'll actually have a gap.
Yeah, I believe the sidewalk played inbound, so there's no...
Yeah, no danger there.
There's no OB. MattyO throwing a flex with a mid-range, getting it about pin high.
Colin with some work to do. Actually, a pretty skinny gap there.
Throwing over the fitness center. And
makes it work. Got a long jump putt here. No, not even jumping it.
just probably kind of giving it a half bid. Not really. You don't seem really too happy with how that resulted.
Yeah, I would have liked a better bid. But at the same time, I'm really just trying to maintain my position here.
Right.
Because, what is that, 13 strokes? That's a lot to make up in 7 holes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, MattyO cashes in the par. Cameron looking to gain the stroke. And he does. He taps in for a nice birdie.
Yeah, so really we got kind of 2 battles going on here. One between Matt and Cam, and another between myself and Colin for is likely to be that third place position.
Right, and you're still probably trying to keep track of live scores just so you don't have anybody from the chase card coming up on you, because
Exactly.
top 4 finishers at this tournament get invited to a skins match, and it's a pretty fun time. A super safari layout, if you consider this a safari layout.
Yeah. We got hole 4 here. Probably plays around 500 feet. You've got to hit this initial gap, and then it's out into an open field. And you'll be playing to the basket, which I've been seeing in the B-roll at the beginning of these videos.
Yeah, there's a bunch of banners around the basket. In the typical layout, this plays as an island, but for this hole, it doesn't. So you really just want to hit this gap and go as far as possible while hitting the gap.
Yeah, Cam actually got fortunate and unfortunate at the same time there. He went into the goal, but came out the backside. So no obstructed walk up, but he does have that goal right in front of him.
And you get a pretty good rip on this one. Hyzer flip turnover and push it towards the basket. That was a really good shot.
Yep, throwing a Hades. That was a good one. I was happy with that.
Yeah, Matt probably trying to force something overstable over to get the full flex.
A little low out of his hand, but stability almost let it come out. But he's actually far enough back from those goals, he shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, you really, I mean, once you hit this gap and you get another 200 feet out there, you should be able to get up and down for the 3.
Colin kind of suffering from the same thing. Actually, he may...
Looked like he was trying for a roller there and didn't quite get it flipped over enough, but there again, he got out of the gap and got some distance. He should be able to get up and down.
The roller was very tempting on this hole, but maybe a little hard to see. There were some hanging limbs in the way.
Colin playing the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
That was a nice shot into the island. The not island.
Yeah.
Matt doing the same.
Cam going to be right up here against the goal. Having to throw this kind of awkward pitch. Online, parks it.
Yeah, it looked like it was no problem for him. And if you're curious why there's a soccer goal in the middle of the course, this is actually soccer fields that have been put in. So we use this land for our temp course.
Yeah. And me with a pretty ideal look at it.
Yeah, easy routine, upshot. Colin trying to shoo away some spectators. Just, hey, give me some room.
Yeah, important to not have anything getting in the way of your focus here. Cashes it.
Yeah, so with that putt, I don't believe there's going to be any score changes.
No, we'll all be taking 3s, but you can see everyone's treating every stroke here with the most importance as any other stroke. So
yeah, we're starting to dial it down a little bit. We're getting towards the end of the tournament. You play 54 holes or 63 holes in 2 days, and it can be tolling on you.
Yeah, card's gotten a lot quieter. Everyone's in their zone. But no score changes there.
Move on to hole 5. This one's a part of the Temp A layout. Just a mash. You're trying to sneak it under these 2 oak trees. Or if you're Cameron, I guess you could try to go around. I don't know if he was intending on doing that, but
gets pretty fortunate with the ground play there. I think he actually landed on that little elevated area.
Yeah, this one's tough to get because you've got to throw the distance, but keep it low under those limbs getting to the basket. So if you hit those limbs, you're left with about an 80-footer.
Yeah, it plays even a little longer than 436 just because of that low ceiling.
And you
just overturned it.
Cooked it a little too much.
Yeah, but this is a hole that's not going to be two'd very often.
Yeah, if you do, you're really happy about it. 3 is okay.
Yeah, you shouldn't be losing many strokes, if any. No glasses catch there.
MattyO with the patented sunglass fall.
Yeah, he didn't catch it because he wasn't happy with it. Colin gonna try and put a move on it.
Yeah, he knows he's got to try to gain a stroke on you here to move up in the ladder.
Looked good out of his hand. A little bit too understable for the release he had. Oof. Matt giving that kind of a run.
Yeah, on this hole, the sidewalk does play out of bounds, so you definitely don't want to push it too long. Matt almost finding that out of bounds. You, on the other hand, play a skip shot to not have anything to do with that OB.
Yeah, and those hanging branches right there really prevented me from doing anything.
Colin trying to do more of an ultimate shot. Little nose up air bounce.
Cam with a chance here to close the gap by a stroke. Really taking his time here.
Yeah, he definitely needs this.
And he cashes it.
Cutting the lead to 2.
And Matt might be getting a little nervous here watching Cam, close the distance like this.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch these two battle it out. I've been on the card with them a few times, and I know you could probably speak to this as well. Just you have to take your time on your shots because you're concentrating on the battle that they're having too. So
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game with those two. It's really incredible to see, honestly, with Cam shooting that 16 under in the last rounds. I can tell you firsthand, I didn't even really realize he was doing it because it looks so natural to him. So
yeah, it's almost expected. So also, if you haven't checked that out, jump back to round 3 and watch that.
Yeah, really just drawing it up like it's nothing. Hole 6 here, safari layout between 2 holes on the regular course. You really got to throw just a big hyzer over this lake and around that far side bundle of trees and bushes. As you see Cam is. And your distance control is key here because you're playing into a pretty tight gap into the woods to the left. So very hard dog leg.
Yeah, honestly, for me, I like to push this a little deep, trying to line up a flex shot coming back. That's my miss anyway. I'd like to be at the opening.
Yeah, and I mean this tee shot's not anything to forget about, and it's a spike hyzer for sure, but it's still a rip. You still got a bunch of stuff to contend with, and you need to get your distance right. I actually left myself pretty cut off there. I still have a look through the gap, but I'm on the inside, and it's going to be tough.
Yeah, ideally you throw a right-handed forehand there, but as we discussed in the last video, you don't necessarily have that.
Yeah, so we're going to have to get a little creative from there.
MattyO throwing a big hyzer as well. Throwing it perfect. That's how you draw it up right there.
Yeah, pretty ideal. And Colin going to try and replicate. Putting it out over the water. Looks good. It gets caught up in that last little bundle of trees.
Being that far back, though, it's not going to be too bad. You probably could get something to go through the gap, but he doesn't necessarily want to have anything to do with that. Just pitching up.
He just had a bad angle at it, which, I mean, he made the smart play.
Yeah, he knows you're cut off as well, so you're not necessarily going to be having an easy 3 on this.
Cam setting himself up for that flex shot you were talking about. Maybe a little bit longer than he would like ideally.
Yeah, it's still a good play. He'll have a look for the 3.
Here I am cut off. I'm taking a super beat up Ringer GT.
Super hyzer flip. Pimping the gap.
Absolutely pured it.
I bet you're happy about that one.
That was the best shot I threw all tournament. And I was very, very happy that happened. I basically released that thing vertical. Matt kind of eyeing up the gap here. Knowing this is an important shot with Cam up there with a look.
Yeah, you don't want to blow this after being so far in the lead and then slowly watching your lead dwindle away, you definitely want to take your time.
Yeah, this is really a critical moment, kind of stop the bleeding scenario. And just overturns it.
Yeah, that's tough. He actually pushed a little farther than I thought. I thought he was about where Colin landed on his second shot.
Yeah, so Cam here, probably frothing at the mouth a little bit, looking at another potential stroke separation.
Yeah, he still got a lengthy putt on an elevated basket though, so you don't want to get too greedy with it. Maybe a little Aggie run. See if Matt can actually hit this, and no, he doesn't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah, he concedes and says, "Cam, if you want it, come take it."
There we go, probably about 40 feet, maybe farther.
Mm.
Yeah. That elevation, it's tough because you don't want to blow too far past it and leave yourself with a long comeback.
Yeah, then you're talking about you losing a stroke, which you can't do in this situation.
Right. Yeah, Colin here looking to clean up his 4.
Great putt from him.
Oh, man, yeah.
He really needed that. If he's looking to keep pace with me, because he was already looking at a stroke difference there.
Yeah, so you've got 3 on him, Matt's got 3 on Cam, and we've got 3 holes left. So some interesting golf to play. You almost think that Cam's out of it for the win, but anything can happen.
Yeah, I walk away with
2 strokes.
Yeah, I walk away with the lone 3 there. Very happy about that.
So you take the box here. Really steep hyzer, hole 7. It says 278. Probably plays a little further, but you really have to knife this with probably a less stable disc than you would expect, and have it flip up and fall to the left. What did you throw there?
I threw an undertaker, so exactly like you said, threw a slightly flippy fairway, let it flip up so that it would glide farther to the left, and put it right under the pin. You can't tell from the tee. I knew it was good on my hand. I didn't know it was quite that good.
Yeah, and then Cam's lining up, I believe, an M3 here. Pushing it a little deep. That's the miss on this play that typically happens. You really have to get this left. It's a lot farther left than you realize on the tee.
Yeah, and you might be tempted to throw something overstable and go for the skip, but the angle is so hard that the best you're going to get there, like absolute best, is probably around circle's edge.
Yeah, typically, like I said, Matt pushing long as well. With that overstable disc, you have to throw it so hard, and you end up doing the same thing that Matt and Cam did.
Yeah, so it's actually it's a lot trickier of a shot than you think, because you do have to play that understability so that you get enough drift. You see Colin going for a similar line and ends up
putting it
in
pretty
a very
good.
good position.
Definitely matching you stroke for stroke there.
Yeah.
Cam giving a long bid, not able to cash in the 2.
And that must be disappointing for him, knowing that only two holes left. He had a chance there.
Yeah, Matt's got a shorter look than he does as well, and he's definitely known to make these just off the rim. So a little disappointing for Matt as well to try to cut the straight. Yep, you can tell there. He definitely wanted that. Colin here trying to cash in a 2. Yeah, you expect him to make those, even in pressure situations like this.
Yep. So he maintains with me as I'm parked under the basket, waiting for my turn.
Yep, that's always a nice situation to be in.
Yep.
2 of the top guys in the world are tapping in their pars, and you walk in and tap in your birdie.
Thanks, guys. See you on the next hole.
Those are my favorite putts as well.
Yeah. All right. Second to last hole, hole 8. Normally, you're going to see people throwing forehands over that pavilion. Ooh,
Giving it a good run
that
there.
was actually way closer than I thought it was. I took the unorthodox route and went with a big backhand turnover. Someone told me it was close, but I didn't know it was that close.
Yeah, you definitely want to play it wide and not flirt with that out of bounds at all.
Yeah, there is an OB pond, as you can see right there. OB line marked off. Shout out to Chris Downey, actually, who rang up the ace on this hole in the final 9. So heard him yelling from across the way. Believe he threw a forehand, maybe with a destroyer.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a backhand rock.
Yeah, he is known for that.
Nah, but I believe it was a forehand, yeah.
Cam putting it close, making Matt have to answer him.
Yeah, putting some pressure on him.
And routine forehand for Matt. Gonna leave a little bit of meat on the bone.
Almost flirting with the out of bounds, too. It looked like it was going to roll that way.
Colin cashing in his birdie putt.
You're looking to do the same.
Yep. And I mean, I'm probably just outside 15 feet away, but, you know, in this type of situation, that 15 feet looks a lot farther. So, I mean, this is still an important putt. I'm still taking my time on it.
Cash it in.
Yep.
So at this point, you're probably looking at live scoring, trying to figure out where you stand and everything. I think you've pretty much secured third place at this point, unless you do something ridiculous on the last hole.
I actually wasn't looking at live scoring.
Oh,
I was
fair.
Yeah, I made the conscious decision. I was playing well enough that, you know, I didn't want to taint it with any other outside information. And, you know, if I birdie everything, that's the most I could do anyway. So
Cool. So y'all finished that hole with a star frame. You maintained the box. You got hole 9 here, 350-foot wide open hyzer. Nothing really to this. Just throw it out there.
yep, go a tad deep, but I'm still only probably 18 feet away.
Colin looking to put it under the basket, and at this point he'd be maintaining 4th place, even taking a par, I believe.
Yeah, he had a pretty decent margin on everyone, and he pretty much parks it. So
No worries there from him.
yeah, good way for him to end his tournament with a turkey.
Oh yeah, and then Cameron here, he's probably hoping to ace it and have Matt take a par, but we'll see if he gives it a good
He's
run.
gonna need a skip.
Gets a skip, but not enough. So,
Only parked.
Yeah, very disappointing. We expect more from Cameron.
No, but outside of some sort of otherworldly force, this is pretty routine for Matt. And
Stockheiser
yeah,
puts it out there. Nice overstability.
yeah, and
Also
he's gonna
park.
secure it with that.
And that's it. Yelling at the
it
crowd.
up. Yeah, giving it up a little bit. Yeah, so
Imagine it would be a nice little hound dog boom.
yeah. And gonna finish my tournament out with a turkey as well.
Very nice.
Put me at 3 down for the final 9, which I was very happy with.
Right, considering the final 9's probably more.
Okay. A little bit of drama there at the end.
The final 9 is definitely more of a par 30, I'd say, 30, 31 maybe. And so shooting a 24 on that layout is really impressive.
Yeah, I believe it tied the hot round, which was Cam. So that felt good. And you're going to look at your 35th annual Halloween Howler champion, Matt Orum.
Taking it down.
See all the spectators that were coming and watching. There was plenty scattered around as well.
So yeah, so that will also secure you and Colin at 3rd and 4th place. Matt shooting at 36, Cameron 34, Colin 22, and you at 25.
Yep.
That secures your spot in the skins match as well, so come check that out.
Yes, this will be your skins match card as well. So that's a fun time. Come hang out with us.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, see you then.